Now I keep double checking my teeth to make sure I don't have lipstick on. Thank you, Anne. Okay, all right, so we're gonna start in a standing position. So come on up, feet in a nice wide, even stance, and then just for a second, let your knees be a little bit soft, let your feet be a little bit heavy, and just let your arms hang nice and heavy down at your sides. And then if it feels good to do so, close your eyes down or just soften your gaze and just take a nice big breath here. And then as you stand here and breathe, just notice and feel your feet on the ground, that nice solidness of the floor beneath you. And then see if you can start to find a little bit of a natural sway. So maybe a little sway front to back or side to side. And it doesn't need to be extreme, but just start to feel a little change of shift of your weight distribution connected to your feet. And then maybe give your toes a little wiggle or just mush around your bottoms of your feet. And then spread your toes as wide as you can on the ground. Solidly ground your feet. Come to a stillness from that sway. And then bring your head, your heart, your hips, and your heels in a line. Soften your shoulders down. And then bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, and just take a moment here to tune into your breath. Take a nice big inhale. Nice slow exhale. Inhale and just notice the physical action of breath underneath your hands. And find a little softness on your exhale. Let your shoulders soften and let your belly soften. Take one more generous breath here. Great. And then before we move away from this place, take a moment to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything that would cause your body pain and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. And then with that intention set, leaving your hand on your heart, the other hand's going to just stack right on top of that hand. And then you're going to draw your shoulders down and back if that feels like a good way to go. Soft knees, soft feet. Inhale, lift your chin up towards the sky, keeping a little trap of the skin underneath your hands. And then as you exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest and just tune in and notice the space between your shoulder blades. Inhale and lift your chin up. Feel that little bit of gentle movement of skin underneath your hands. And then exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest. Take one more breath. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down. And then release your hands down to your sides. And we're going to start with a little shirt sleeve twist. So you're going to let your head come back to its neutral position and then start to swing your arms. And then as you swing your arms, you might like to step your feet just a little bit wider apart. So maybe they're about shoulder width distance. And then let your knees move, let your ankles move, and let your hips move a little bit. Awesome. Take one more little swing side to side. And then we're going to start with a little bit of a light tap. So you're just going to tap your hands down the outsides of your thighs and keep a nice generous bend of the knees. So it doesn't have to look like anything. And then tap up the insides of your legs and then come to your belly, give your belly a little rub. And then we'll do that again. Tap down the outsides of the thighs. Nice little pat, pat motion. Doesn't need to hurt yourself, but we just want to stimulate the outsides of the body and then come to the belly, give the belly a little rub. Nice. One more time, just like that. Pat down the outsides of your thighs, up the insides of your thighs, and then to your belly, give your belly a little rub. Beautiful. And now we're going to take our hands in a light little fist, and you're just going to give a little tap to the kidneys, reach your arms up and overhead, let the hips come forward, let your chest lift, and then bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale and come all the way up. And then give a little tap to the kidneys, reach your arms up, let the hips come forward, look to the sky. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, come down to the ground. Beautiful. Come back up to a standing position. And then one more time, just like that, give a little tap to the kidneys. Inhale, raise up, hips come forward, gaze comes up. Exhale, bend your knees, come down to that folded position and then stay here. Find a little bit of a gentle sway side to side. If it feels good, grab your elbows, let your head hang nice and heavy, and just pedal your legs a little bit. So one knee bends and then the other. Nice. Take one more little sway side to side. And then from here, we're going to start to find our way down into a tabletop position. So fingers are going to find the floor, bend your knees, float your way back down to the ground, wrists in line with the shoulders, knees in line with the hips, and then find a little bop of the hips side to side, like you're trying to drop your hips towards the earth. One more bop of the hip side to side, and then we'll take it into a C spine. So you're going to hug shoulder in towards hip, and then take it to the other side. Inhale as you come to center, exhale as you squeeze in at the side body. And you can let your head look over the shoulder and then just hug your shoulder in towards your hip. Beautiful. Take one more time each side or even yourself out. And then as you come back to center into a neutral position, right into a cat-cow breath. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back. Inhale as you drop your belly. Exhale as you round your back. 2 more cycles of breath here, just moving with your breath's rhythm. Awesome. And then from here, we're going to add on. So come to a nice neutral spine, curl your toes under, exhale and pull your butt back to your heels. And then inhale, come forward, release your toes, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale, curl the toes under, round your back, pull your butt back to your heels. Inhale, come forward, release your toes, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back, curl your toes under, pull your butt back to your heels. Beautiful. One more just like that. Inhale, come forward, release your toes, drop your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, curl your toes under, pull your butt back. Stay here for just one extra breath, pushing back into your hands so that you're feeling a little nice stretch through the bottoms of the feet. Take a big inhale. Slow exhale. Great. And then come forward. Keep your toes curled under. So you're back in that tabletop position. Drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail, and then take 3 nods of the head, keeping the belly down. So we're just flossing through the spine, finding a little bit of movement through the back of the neck. And then bring your head to neutral, release your toes, pull your abdominal muscles up and in and right into a puppy pose. Keep your knees in line with your hips, walk your hands towards the top edge of your mat. Let your chest and your forehead melt down and take 3 nice big breaths here. When you're ready, on your next inhale, walk it all back into your tabletop position. We're going to take it into our little cow face prep pose. So right leg is going to shoot out from the hip. Left toes are going to swing over to the right. Tuck your right knee behind your left, and then rock your butt back towards your heels, and then pull yourself forward again. And then just tune in. Notice the right glute. Pull your bum back towards your heels, and then come forward. And one more time, just like that. Pull your bum back towards your heels, and then come forward. Awesome. And then unwind your legs, coming through that tabletop position and taking it to the other side. Left leg is going to shoot out, right toes over to the left side of your mat. Tuck your left knee behind your right. And then once you've got yourself set up with those knees, pull your butt back to your heels and then come forward again. Beautiful. Pull your butt back toward your heels and then come forward. Nice. One more time, just like that. Beautiful. And then come forward, unwind your legs. Now we're going to walk our knees out nice and wide to the outer edges of the mat, big toes together. Come back to extended child's pose. Pull your butt back to your heels. Let your belly, your chest, and your forehead melt down. Take 3 nice big breaths here. Beautiful. When you're ready, we're going to lift up, keep the knees super wide, and then swing the toes out to meet. So we're going to find that nice wide base of support down at the legs. Right hand is going to walk underneath the nose. Left hand's going to reach up to the sky. Awesome. Left hand touches down underneath the nose, and then right hand's going to reach up nice and high. Beautiful. And then release that hand down, both hands super wide to the outer edges of your mat. We're going to take it into a wide downward facing dog. Curl the toes under, lift your hips up, keep your knees bent so you have plenty of work in the shoulders, softening your heart towards your thighs. Let your head drop down and take a nice big breath here. Awesome. And then soften your knees, look forward, and we're going to walk our feet up to meet our hands. Come to a nice ragdoll fold at the top of your mat. So feet about hip or shoulder width distance apart, super generous bend in the knees. Let your spine hang nice and heavy here. Let your head dangle. Take a nice big breath. Cool. And then bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in, strong from your navel center, round and roll up to standing. Roll your shoulders around, down and back, and then just take a second to get yourself situated. So make sure everything feels good at the top of your mat. Feet nice and firm on the ground, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands through heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. One more just like that. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Right hand down, left hand reaches up. Take a little side bend over to the right. Beautiful. Come back up. Left hand down, right hand reaches up. Side bend over to the left. Awesome. Bring it back up. Both hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Draw the knuckles down. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift the hands slightly away from the back of your body. Lift your chin up and take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then release. Prayer hands to heart center, elbows nice and wide. We're going to put a little firm press between those hands. Shift your weight over to your left foot. Start to pick your right heel up. We're going to spin the right ankle a couple of circles in one direction, keeping the big toe on the ground. And then spin that ankle, go in the other direction. And then see where your balance is at right now. Just pick that right knee up. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then set that foot down. Keep your hands pressed together, elbows wide. Shift your weight over to your right foot. Peel your left heel up. Big toe stays on the ground. Circle your ankle in one direction. Beautiful. And then circle your ankle the other way. Nice. And then if it feels good, just to see where your balance is at this morning, pick that knee up. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then float that foot down. Hands come down at your sides. Inhale, arms up. Hands are going to meet. We're going to bring the thumbs to the back of the head, just a little touch to the back of the head. And then lift the hands up, bend your knees, fold your hands right down the center line. Let your hands touch the ground. Big giant bend in the knees. Inhale to a half forward fold. Hands glide to the shins. And then keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, hands meet. Thumbs to the back of the head. Bend your knees, hinge from your waist. Hands fold down the center line, touch the ground. Inhale to that half forward fold. And then keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. One more time, just like that. Inhale, arms up. Hands meet, thumbs to the back of the head. Bend your knees, hinge from your waist. Fold all the way down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold. Keep that length, bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your side. Awesome. Now we're going to go a little further. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight. That'll be totally up to you. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step the right leg back, warrior one. So we're going to drop the heel, turn the toes out, hips stay facing forward. Inhale, raise your arms up and look up. Nice. And then from here, we're going to float the hands down, pivot that back heel so we come into a little bit of a runner's lunge. So you can set that foot back a little further if that feels good. Find a little stability here, strengthen your legs, and we're just going to airplane the arms. So we're going to lift the hands back towards the hips, lift your chest slightly away from your thighs, gaze down at the floor, take a nice big breath, nice and strong in the legs. Beautiful. And then inhale, raising up, straighten your front leg. And then exhale, bring it back to that airplane. Bend the knees, hands come back towards hips, gaze down. Nice. Inhale, raise up, straighten that front leg. Beautiful. Bend that knee, hands come back towards the thighs. Awesome. One more just like that. Inhale, straighten the front leg, raise your arms up. Nice. Exhale, bend your knees. Hands are going to float down to the ground. We're going to step back to a plank and then soften down onto the belly. So bring your knees down, lower with control onto your belly. 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. Nice. One more just like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower down. Push your way up into a tabletop position. Curl your toes under. Pull your butt back towards your heels. Take a nice big breath. And then come forward into tabletop and lift up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold down. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Nice. Stepping the left leg back, warrior 1 to the other side. So we drop the heel down, toes turn out slightly, hips stay facing forward. Inhale and raise your arms up. Beautiful. And then float your hands down. We're going to scooch that big leg back so we come into that runner's lunge. See how that feels to come into that deeper lunge. And then if it feels good, airplane the arms, lift the chest away from the thighs. Nice. And then find that strength in your legs. Lift up, straighten the front leg as you raise your arms up. Beautiful. Bend that front knee back to those airplane arms, reaching back towards the thighs. Inhale and rise up. Exhale, bend the knee, bring the hands back. Nice. One more time, just like that. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend that front knee, hands come back. Awesome. And then float those hands down to the ground, plant the palms, step back to a plank. Right away, come down onto the belly. Lower your knees or lower with control. Cool. And then once you found your way down, take a second, shake out your tush, wiggle out your shoulders. We're going to bend the knees and then windshield wiper the heels a little side to side. Beautiful. One more little swish the heels side to side and then bring your toes back down to the ground. We're going to take some graduated cobras here. So first with a low cobra, inhale, gently lift your heart up. And then exhale, lower down. Slide your hands back about an inch. Inhale, lift your heart just a little higher. Exhale to lower down. Slide your hands back 1 more inch and then inhale, lift just as high as you like. Exhale to lower down. Beautiful. Push your way up through tabletop. Pull your butt back to your heels, toes curled under or release. That'll be totally up to you here. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then come forward into tabletop, curl your toes under here. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward and walk your feet up to meet your hands. Take your time coming into a forward fold. Inhale to a half forward fold. Find a little strength in your back and your low belly. Exhale to soften all the way down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Nice. And now we're going to take it into a little balance pose. We're going to come into an eagle pose today. And so if you like a little wall support, or if you know your balance isn't there this morning, or if you're on a super soft floor, it might feel good to just have a chair or a wall nearby. And then when you feel good and ready, shift your weight over to your left foot. We're just going to start by picking the right leg up and just kind of taking it across and then setting it back down, and then take it to the other side. Pick your knee up, just step it across a little bit, and then set it down. Nice. And then take it into your arms. Give yourself one hug, one arm on top, the other arm on bottom, and then release. And then take it the other way, other arm on top, give yourself a little hug, and then release. Nice. Now shift your weight over to one foot, pick your leg up, bring it across. The leg that's on top, take that arm on the bottom and either give yourself a little hug here, just keeping the elbows stacked, or wrap the hands around to any configuration that works good for you. Sink a little bit further into your seat. Push your thumbs slightly away from your face if your hands are wrapped, elbows in line with the shoulders. Focus your gaze, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, lift up, unwind your arms, unwind your legs, give everything a little soft shake. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So we're going to take that leg across, the leg that's on top, that arm is going to come on the bottom. You're either going to give yourself a hug or keeping the elbows stacked, wrap your hands around so your palms meet, sink into your seat a little bit. Focus your gaze, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, lift up, unwind your arms, unwind your legs, give everything a soft little bop, shake it all out, and then find your mountain pose again at the top of your mat, anchoring into your feet and lifting up through the top of your head. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold down. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to down dog. Take a moment here just to notice, allowing your heart to melt toward your thighs, finding the sensation of heels reaching towards the earth. Does not matter if your heels touch the ground. Take a nice big breath here. Beautiful. And then pick up your heels, lower your knees, come into tabletop position, back to that cow face prep pose. Right leg is going to shoot out from the hip, left toes over to the right side of your mat. Tuck your right knee behind the left, pull your butt back toward your heels. Walk your hands back just a little bit so you can sink just a little bit deeper into that position, and then tune in and notice. Notice your right glute. Take a nice big breath. Take one more breath here. Beautiful. Come back up. Keep your legs crisscrossed. Take 3 cat-cows here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale and round your back. Inhale to drop your belly. Exhale to round. One more breath just like that. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale to round. Awesome. Neutral spine, unwind your legs. Take a second to find your way there. Bop out anything that you need to, and then we'll set it up to the other side. Left leg is going to shoot out from the hip. Right toes swing over to the left. Left knee tucks behind the right. Find that little bit of alignment there, and then pull your butt back to your heels. Walk your hands in just a little bit closer so that you really can sink back into that shape. And then tune in and notice. Notice your left glute and see if you can soften the muscle tissue there. Take a couple of nice big breaths. Beautiful. When you're ready, nice and easy, lift yourself back up. Keep those legs crisscrossed. 3 cat-cows here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back. Inhale to drop your belly. Exhale to round. Nice. One more breath. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale to round. Neutral spine. Unwind your legs. Take a second to bop your hips out. And then we're going to swing the legs out to one side, spin yourself around so you're sitting back on your butt. And then once you've found your way there, we're going to take the right leg in. So right foot to the inner thigh, externally rotated so the knee is out to the right, but hips are going to stay facing forward. As much of a bend in your left leg as feels good, take a nice big breath, reach up, think about pulling the belly up and over, and then exhale, reach towards your foot. Does not matter if you touch your foot, and keep as much bend as feels good so that you're not yanking against the back of the left leg. Take one more big breath here. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, walk yourself up nice and slow. We're going to pick up the right knee, pick up the right heel, give that leg a little rock side to side. And then see if it feels available. You're going to take that right foot into your left elbow pit. So we're going to get a little single hand hold. So if you can hold onto the leg with one hand, you're going to hug it up nice and tight to the chest. Keep that single hand hold. And now right hand's going to touch down to the ground. and you're going to start to roll around on that right hip. You're going to roll in gentle circles, and you might find some hot spots there. So if you find anything that's really zinging you, you're going to stay off that particular spot and then just move a little adjacent to it. So you want to find any spots that might feel tender and then move around them a little bit. Nice. Take one more little rock around here. And then when you're ready, we're going to set that foot down. Knee is going to stay bent. And now we're going to take a little twist. So we're going to wrap our left hand around that right knee, rotate to the right, right hand behind you. Think about getting nice and tall here. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release. Right foot's going to step out nice and long. Give your knees a little bounce. Give your ankles a little wiggle. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So left foot's going to come in. Left knee is externally rotated. Foot is at the inner thigh. Hips stay facing forward. Soften that right leg as much as you like. Take a nice big breath. Think up and over sensation. And then exhale, reach toward your foot. Beautiful. When you're ready, come up nice and slow. And then we're going to pick up that left leg. So grab the heel, grab the knee, rock the leg a little side to side. And you might be happy doing the work here. You might be happy just keeping with that rock. But if it feels good to do so, pull that leg in, catch hold of that foot. Maybe you grab it with the elbow pit, or maybe you just find a single hand hold that works for you. And then think about just keeping the leg lifted up towards the chest. Left hand touches down to the ground, and then we lean over to the left and roll around on that hip just as much as feels good. Nice. Take one more little rock around. And then when you feel good and ready, lift yourself back up, set that foot down, knee is going to be bent. And now we're going to turn to the left. So right arm is going to wrap around that left leg, rotate to the left, left hand behind you. Think about getting nice and tall. Beautiful. When you're ready, nice and easy release. And now we're going to bring both soles of the feet together into our cobbler's pose. So soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. Take a second to kind of wiggle around in your sits bones. And then for each of us, the variation of our hips might make our diamond shape a little bit different. So you might like to walk your feet a little bit wider. You might prefer to walk your heels a little bit closer. So make sure that it feels like a good position for your knees, no shooting pain in the back. And then once you feel like you're there, lean forward just a little bit and then come right back up. Lean forward just a little bit and then come right back up. Beautiful. One more just like that. Lean forward just a little bit and then come right back up. Awesome. Help your knees come together, send them out nice and long. We're going to take it into a fish pose to finish. So we're going to walk our hands underneath our butt, fingertips pointing down towards the knees, and then come down elbows and forearms. And then we're just going to walk those elbows in nice and close to each other, squeezing the shoulder blades, lifting the heart. Either tuck your chin to your chest or let your head drop back, whichever is going to feel more comfortable to you. Take a second to find your way there. Keep your heart lifting up, keep your shoulder blades squeezing together. And then once you feel like you've got everything on the top half of the body, point your toes. So energy from the crown of your head all the way down to your toes. Take a nice big breath here. Cool. And then if your head is dropped back, gently lift it up. Walk your elbows out just a little bit, soften your knees, walking them in, and then releasing your fingers from underneath your bum, roll your way down to the ground. Once you found your way down, just give a second, let everything settle in. And then if you like, pull both knees up into your chest, give yourself a light little squeeze, maybe a little rock side to side. Awesome. And then maybe take those knees, draw them in circles, go in one direction. And then take your knees and draw them in circles, go the other way. Cool. And then if it feels good, set your feet down, toe heel your feet to the outer edges of your mat. Take a couple of windshield wipers here. Just checking in again, making sure everything feels good. Knees feel good, hips feel happy, shoulders feel soft and heavy into the earth. Take 1 or 2 more windshield wipers each side, and then take a moment to just ask your body where would be your best Shavasana. Would it feel good to come into constructive rest, letting the knees drop in towards each other and finding a little support for the low back? Do you want to come back to a cobbler's pose, soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right? Or do you like that more traditional shape, or any other variation that feels good to you and allows you to come into a little stillness? Take a second to find your way there. And then once you feel like you've got your body in a nice position and everything's starting to feel good, invite some softness in. Invite a softness back into your breath, just allowing your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Invite a soft heaviness into your limbs. Arms are soft and heavy. Legs are soft and heavy. Soften your palms. Soften the soles of your feet. And let your chest and your shoulders get nice and heavy into the earth. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. If it feels good to do so, start to turn your head gently side to side, just inviting some gentle movement into the cervical spine and massaging out the back of your head. Take one more turn of your head side to side, or even yourself out. And then as you bring your head back to center, start to reawaken the rest of your body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, invite some gentle movement into your wrists and your ankles. Maybe invite some gentle movement into your knees, a little windshield wipers into the hips. And then if all is feeling good, take a big good morning stretch like a yawn. Reach your arms up and overhead, stretch your legs long, take a nice big breath back into your body. And then in your own way, in your own time, start to find your way up to a comfortable seated position. You can roll to one side or rock and roll up, anything that gets you there but feels good. Cool. And then once you found your way, just give a second to kind of wiggle into your sits bones. Make sure you're finding that nice, tall, and lifted spine. And then just tune in. Notice your head, your heart, and your hips. And can you bring them all in line? So it feels like you're leaning forward. Can you pull it all back so it feels like your back is leaning against an imaginary wall? And then stacking your hands on top of your heart, put a little bit of press. So we're just trapping that skin underneath the hands. And then start to turn your head gently side to side. And just feel that gentle bit of movement underneath your hands. Beautiful. And then bring your head to a center position and then nod your head up and down. Nice. And then the next time you tuck your chin down towards your chest, stay there. Take a nice gentle inhale. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and the time that you take to take care of yourself. And breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. And gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Saturday.